To the video. So what I've done, in case I don't know how far it's saved, is I believe that it got most of it, but I'll go back to the screen in a minute. So I'm going to put my equation in. So my equation, y equals, I have 250 divided by 48. Oh, it was. Thank you. 125 divided by 148. So equal 125 divided by 48. Okay, and then in parentheses, I believe I had x minus 2.
Did we put our original
Times x, what's that now? Minus
Did we put
3.
our original factor for?
Yes, times x minus 4 squared. Look, does that look kind of like what I did on my paper? You see, I mean, it's not perfect, but you see what I'm saying? The roller coaster comes down, it loops up, it comes, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty good to what the type of graph I want. Now watch what happens. Let me show you this. I'm going to zoom this in. If you zoom all the way to 250, it's hard to see. Because the 250, see up here somewhere, there's the 250. If I took the 250 or the 125 over 48 out, watch what would happen to my graph. So if I zoom back out, oh, let me go home. There we go. Look how the graph shrunk down. I'm going to put it in so you can see this. If I type 125 divided by 48, see how the graph did a little bit of a stretch? Like that's what's happening. Okay? What's that? That's good. That looks pretty good to yours. To me, it does anyway. 25 over 4 is what you had as your lead. Yeah, it just goes lower than you thought. But if you, yeah. All right. Okay. Any question on that? So that was step 3. Okay? That was step 3 that we just did, where you did all that math. Okay? Step 4. Let's see. Let me get back to step 4. Let's look at it. Step 4. Find the equation in standard form. Now, to do standard form, if you're trying to follow, I'm going through everything you got to do.
Wait, I thought that was standard form.
No. Okay. Hold on. This, we're getting close. Hey, by the way, when you get past this step, this is the hardest step in the whole thing. Actually, this one and 10. 5, 6, 7, and 8 take almost no time. Okay? So here we go. Well sorted. That's probably not true either. That's a little bit on the way. But I think this is the hardest one. So here you go. You better pay attention to this. So, standard form. Standard, I have to do the following. I have to take this and I have to actually multiply out. Now, I'm not going to require you to distribute 125 over 48 to everything. I just don't care. Whatever your lead number is. But you do need to do the following. So if I've got x minus 2 times x minus 3 times x minus 4 squared. Okay? Yes, this is a lot that I'm getting ready to show you. Remember, it's a test grade. I ain't going to give you a test grade for sitting and taking a nap. Like, if this is going to be a test grade, it's got, to me, this is the easiest test you'll ever do if you'll stick with it. I mean, okay? So, f of x, I'm going to leave the 125 over 48 alone. But what I've got to do is multiply.
So you know how we got 8? It was
Yeah, that's simple. I did 2. You can type in your calculator your 2 fractions or your fraction and hit enter. It'll be a decimal. And then you can hit math fraction. So if you put your 2 numbers, 250 over 240, divided by 240, then go math and hit fraction. Enter, enter. There's the tree. 25 over 24. Okay? All right. Look here. So I've got to actually multiply this out, guys. I've got to do x times x is x squared. This was something we were weak at, so this is good review. This is MT. minus 3x, yep, minus 2x
minus 6. Or
plus
6
6. Okay.
Wait, that's standard form.
Not quite. We're not there yet, but that's what you're doing. You're just going to multiply. It's going to be ginormous. It's going to be ginormous.
Why didn't you do
Yes. Oh, whoops. I don't want to move that. Hold on.
Why didn't you do the last one?
Why didn't I what? Well, we're going to. You got it. You got to do them piece by piece.
Oh.
Okay. So f of x. Well, sorry, y'all. F of x equal 125 over 48 times, that's x squared minus 5x plus 6. Question, x minus 4 squared is really what? X minus 4 squared would really be x minus 4 times what? Times x minus 4. Are you with me? You've got two choices here. None's quick. Neither of them's quick, but I'll show you what I prefer, and then you pick. I prefer to go ahead and multiply these two, and then I've got two big ones, and I multiply one more time. The other option, though, is you multiply this times x minus 4, get that. Then you multiply that times x minus 4. I don't care. I don't care.
I want to do yours.
Okay, let's try it. You may not after you see it. So I'm going to multiply x times x squared. By the way, all that's just coming down. Yes, doctor. What's that? What's that now? I did. Yeah. Okay? So x squared minus 4x plus 16. So I get 125 over 48. This isn't yours now. You got to do yours. That's where I am. I'm almost to standard form. So that's what I would do. And then the last step that takes a while is I would have to do all of these times each one of those.
Why can't you just do put them together, comment?
Oh, because it's multiplication, not addition. If it was plus, you could just go, oh, those are added together. Okay. So the last piece.
So x to the 4.
Well, I'm going to write it up. I'll put mine up here.
Yeah.
So 125 over 48. I'll use a different color. So I've got to do x squared times everything in that other parenthesis. So x to the 4th minus 8x to the 3rd minus 16x squared. And then I do 5x times everything. So minus 5x to the 3rd plus 40x squared plus 80x. Do you see why I don't want you to do too many zeros? Because if you do a bunch of zeros, your graph is just going to be, this is about as nasty as I'd want to deal with that. So 6 times x squared is 6x squared. 6 times 8 minus 48x. And y'all give me 6 times 16. Is it 96? 6 times 16?
6 times 16.
Is it 96? Is 6 times 16 96?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm almost there. All I got to do is combine what's lighter. Yeah, that's it. So 120, yes, because is there any multiplying left to do?
No.
Except that number in front, but yes, okay? So if it's me, I'm going to take a different color. I'm going to take yellow. This is the only x to the 4th, so x to the 4th. Okay, let me do a different color, and that's fine. We'll do black. So x to the 4th. Now I've got 8x cubed and 5x cubed, so that's minus 13x cubed, because they were both negative. Minus 16 plus 40. Y'all type in your calculator. Minus 16 plus 40. Or tell me. Minus 16 plus 40. What's that? Yes. Mm-hmm. What do I get? What's minus 16 plus 40?
24.
24. So plus 24x squared Okay? Oh, I missed an x squared. Look, there's another 6. What would 24 and 6 be? Sorry. 30. So this would be 30x squared. Okay?
Plus 80x.
80x minus 48x. 80x minus 48x.
128.
80 minus 48.
Oh.
32. And then minus 96. I'm not going to ask you to distribute the 125 over 48. But if you did, then whatever you got, that would be an easy piece.
There's more steps.
No, that's it. That's it. That's probably one of the hardest ones to do. I'm going to stop. What's our time? I'm going to let you take time to try and do that part for about 5 minutes. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are really quick. They really are. They're not bad. Okay? So try this one. See if you can get this. Uh-oh. Is this yours? This is yours, right? Not mine. Okay. What's, oh, combine those. What's minus 4x? That'll just make it easier. Erase it. So let's just combine those terms. So you got 25 over 4, right? 25 over 4. Okay. X squared comes down. Okay. What's 5x and 4x? Minus 5x and minus 9x, right? Minus 9x. Minus 20, right? And parentheses around those. Now, x squared comes down, right? You might want to trace that. And what does this give? What's minus 2 and minus 2 give you? Minus 2 and minus 2. Negative 4. Minus 2 and minus 2. So minus 4x. Minus 4. Now, you should have, think about it, you're going to do this times all 3, right? X squared times all 3, right? And then this times all 3. And then this times all 3. So how many things should you have? Well, you have 3 for the first one, 3 for the second one, 3 for the third one. So you have a total of 9 things before you start adding them together. Okay? But I usually just go with x squared times all 3. Yes. Okay, the touchdown. If it touches down, then that's a double. Yep, you got it. Yep, that means it's multiplicity too. Yes, it's happening twice. What's that? X squared times x squared. X times x times x times x. Yep. Was that overwhelming?
3 negative 3.
It's a little funky to do this part. This part's hard. It is. This is probably the hardest part of the thing. Yes. Minus 4x cubed. Yep. Yes.
Okay. So this is how we do it.
Yeah, and then you could do one of those each time if you wanted to. It's going to be the same number of steps. You know what I'm saying? Once you get the first thing, you could do that times x plus 4.
Yeah.
And then you could do that times x plus 4. You see what I'm saying? That would be okay to do. Okay. And I hope
So what's 2x times 2x? 4x squared?
So yours is uber super complicated. And it's going to be hard to do.
All right. On your calculator.
So let's not go that far. I like your under. That's good. What number is this right here? Is that 7? That's 10. So what I'm saying is let's not go beyond 400. So maybe if you do here and here, maybe just call it a little bit and touch down the egg. And like that's the end of the day. So like to get a double root, it needs to touch like just touch the root. So you just come up like this and touch. And you can cut off the rest, right? And that would make like way. Okay. So what would the roots do? What are your features? They're all in the same at what?
No. Yes.
B at and x. So your time, you have x minus. Because your root is.
My brain is melting. So.
And eight here, because it's not just you just put something in what you want.
What is it? So that's right.
Are you with me? They have to equal to the okay, and because the double would be squared, like you have 2x minus x. Okay, does that make sense? And then what we were doing was you could put 250 in to find what a is.
That's negative 6x.
Okay, so if you have 250, so 250 equals what do you do? What do you figure? So what would if you run out 3. Yes. Cut and decorate and do all that fun stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? And create it, put it in a good order. You've already done a lot of the math. If you did step 1, 2, 3, 4, the only thing now is make sure it's nice and neat so I can see what you did. Does that make sense? Now, let's talk about step 5. Look, step 5. Please don't miss this. Practical domain. Let's take 5 minutes to do this, and then we're done. So the practical domain. Check this out. This is not too difficult to do. All right, so my practical domain. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I'm just going to look at Desmos for this. Practical domain. What is domain? Domain is the what? The x's. Practical means what makes sense. Where, at what time does this roller coaster start and what time does it stop? For mine, for instance, I started at what? Well, not height, domain. So I started at 0 and went, how long did my ride go till? Remember, I decided to go till 5, but 0 to 5. Are you with me? So the domain, literally, if you want it, the domain is 0 to however far your picture went. So like if you did 0 to 10, it's 0 to 10. So you may want to jot down domain 0 to 10. Okay, 0, 5. Okay, practical domain. That's step 5. That was a tough one. Practical range. So low to high. So my graph, for instance, goes as low as negative 1.614. So my domain goes from negative 1.614 up to, I'd have to look at my graph and see how high it goes. Oh, you know what? Look what does it look like my graph does?
Whoa.
It goes on forever. But we want a practical domain. What would be practical? About 250. So you're 250. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, not domain, range. So domain and range are easy. That one's easy. Domain will be how long the ride was. So my ride was from 0 to 5 minutes. Like that was it. But yours is however long your ride was. If it was 5 minutes, fine. If it was 6 minutes, fine. If it was 7 minutes. Okay? Now, on your graph, make a note somewhere of this, somebody, because I will not be here. I will not be here Wednesday to be able to help you. So hear this. Yes, I've got to miss 2 because I'm going to Raleigh. So yeah. Okay? So here's your deal. It says state the practical range. Oh, we did that. Describe end behavior. That's not too bad. Step 7. End behavior.
When x is going positive, what is y doing?
And then when x is going negative, that's it. That's all you're saying. Okay? And then increasing, decreasing, you're going to shade that on your graph. So it says color it blue when it's increasing. So on my graph, let me show you that, and that's where I'll shut down. Okay, if I come back to my graph, if people fell asleep, oh, all right, I don't feel bad because I have walked through this much as I could. So when am I supposed to do increasing? Is it blue? Increasing is blue. So if I come here to highlighter, there's blue. This increases from here to there. And it increases from here. That's my increase. In blue. And then the decrease is supposed to be in red. Yep. So decrease. Oh, there we go. Color palette. I'll do pink. That's fine. So down, down. There's my graph. And I would just list for how long they did that. So my decrease is from 0 to whatever, and then from whatever this is to here. That's all I would do. And then increasing would be the opposite. Okay? All right. I hope my folks that was a good combo, but I hope you're ready. Okay. All right. Good job today. I'm going to pause this and